Hello everyone, Merry Christmas. This is R. Douglas Helvering. I am a faculty member at Westminster Choir College in Princeton, New Jersey, and I also write choral and vocal music. I wanted just to send a brief message today, wishing you the best in this holiday season, and I also wanted to lift up and talk to you a short bit about this brand new piece that has my last name in very big writing on it that I'm very proud of. This is called Open the World, and an underscoring or a subtitle of Peace on Earth. This uses a wonderful new text by my friend Adam Tice. This is a text on the Nativity, and it's also a text that intersperses utterances of Donat Obis Pacem, Peace on Earth. And I'm really happy with this piece and hope that you will find it worthy to do with your own choirs. This is a piece that was commissioned by Dr. James Jordan, who is a colleague of mine, I'm sure most of you know, at Westminster Choir College. He commissioned it for the 25th anniversary of Westminster's An Evening of Readings and Carols, and the piece was premiered by his Schola Cantorum, which is our sophomore choir at Westminster, just this month. My good friends in the KC Cantorai from Kansas City, directed by Chris Muntz, they were the second group to do it. So I'm very thankful to both of those groups for performing it for the first time just this month. What Adam has written for us are 3 stanzas about the Nativity and its lasting power and how it grounds us and how it affects us still even to this day. And then after each of those stanzas, we get the response of calling for peace on earth. I think it's a topical selection, and it's one that really touched me when I went to write it this past summer. As I was writing it this past summer, I wanted to ask myself the question, come December, what type of peace would I need to hear? What type of sound would I most be in need of to get me mentally prepared for the season, to get me emotionally reset for the season? This has been a politically confusing time, tumultuous time for sure, and a time where we're as a society wrestling through just what is true and what isn't, and what can we place our trust in and what should we not. And it's a confusing time. And for me, I thought, if I could just be in a lovely space, hearing a lovely choir sing and just be reset, like make time stand still, just forget about everything else and just focus on what is poignant and what is important, and just to reset priorities. So this piece, Calling for Peace on Earth, is my attempt to do that. You'll notice that each of these stanzas are set strophically. So we hear, open the world on a brilliant night, a nothing night, as dark as dim as any other, until in starlight shining, peace on earth. And then when we get to the second stanza, into the world on a hungry night, an aching night, as burnt, as bent as any other, until with newborn crying, peace on earth. Lastly, we get over the world on a waiting night, a wanting night, as right, as rare as any other, until with angels singing, peace on earth. The stanzas are set so that each one of them is the same. You'll hear the same thing come back. And before each one of them, you'll hear this unifying element. For me, that's just a B. Right in the middle of the treble staff, this is the unifying element. We always keep coming back to it. Why did I pick B? I think it was because I got thinking about the Nativity and how It's unifying, it's universal, and I think, of course, of Jesus Christ, and I think, what does it mean for us today? And I kept coming to this conclusion, Christ in the center of everything. And so I thought, what better note to pick to be the unifying theme than the note that's right in the middle of the staff for the gals, right? So you hear this B come back throughout the piece. At the beginning, there's this chant that sets it up. The chant is from the Missa de Angelis, and you hear it as part of this B major, lovely sound. At times the B is paired with this B chord. Other times it's paired as a ninth with an A chord. It's the third of a G chord. It's in this crazy F chord that you'll hear a couple times, which is one of my favorite sonorities to do. This sharp, what is that, a 7, 9, 11 chord, right? An F11. And then finally at the very end you'll hear it as part of the tonic in E major is what this piece is in. At the very beginning you hear the chant, and then this cascading down as peace comes down to earth with these just sort of lingering sonorities. And then finally we get to this F chord, peace evermore. And then you hold on that B, and then it flips into the nativity. Right? And then goes back and forth from there. And that's what we hear back and forth for a good, several minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. And there's nothing rhythmically intense about it. It's just designed to just wash over us and to be a sound that can allow us the space and time to think and to ponder and to be reset for this season. The piece culminates when we come back to the chant before this big cascading amen section. I love writing amen sections that do that. For those of you that have done my pieces before, amens are just kind of licensed to just be exuberant, just for the sake of being exuberant, because you're just praising in that instance. Before the piece kind of calms its way back down, and then we finally end with this chord at the end. And I hope that you guys like it. I really am pleased with it, and I'm thankful for Adam for writing such a glorious new text that we can hear and reflect on at this time of year. My best to all of you. This piece is called Open the World, Peace on Earth. It's published by GIA in the Evoking Sound series. Cheers.